Hello, and welcome back to Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. We have finished our tutorial, and it might be time for actual real gameplay to start. It's exciting. Here we go, something we can check out here. Oh, never mind, there's nothing to check out there. We can check out that there's nothing to check out. Hey there, Estelle and Joshua. Oh, hi, Ridge. Looks like your training is over, isn't it? I'm humbled to know that you two are the youngest ever to pass the Bracer exam. I look forward to working with you in the same capacity. Ourselves as well. I have to get back to work now, but if there's something you don't understand, give me a holler. Alright. What about Aina, I believe it was? Congratulations! You two are now official members of the Bracer Guild. From now on, I'm going to be passing jobs out to you like candy. Bring it on, is all I have to say. I look forward to working with the guild. Currently there's nothing to report. Current rank is, right, junior 9th class. Nothing special. Oh. Hurry up and come on! Wait for me, Luke! Little kid's up to some mischief, I see. Huh? Oh, it's you two. Oh great, it's Estelle. Hi there, Joshua! Okay, little twerp. What's with the "oh great, it's Estelle" remark? I meant to say, oh, it's the great Estelle. Don't worry about it. And what's the big hurry? How about telling us where you're headed? You're not thinking about wandering out of town alone, are you? The roads are full of monsters, I hope you know. You're such a pest, Estelle. Don't you know there's no room for girls to be sticking their big fat noses in boys' business? Quit acting like you're a bracer, you wannabe. Tisk tisk, how wrong you are, Luke. How incredibly wrong. You're more wrong than a fool who thinks there's better tasting milk and liberal than the milk that comes from the Purzel farm. That's pretty wrong. What? No way. You're full of it, Estelle. In fact, as of just a few minutes ago, we qualified to become real bracers. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Real bracers! More like bracers in training, really. I don't think you should be getting on your high horse just yet, Estelle. Now, a high pony, on the other hand. Quit being a killjoy. I like this Joshua fellow, I must say. Wow, you two are great! I'm so happy for the both of you. Pat is also the nicer of the children. Note to self. Oh, Pat, you're such a good little boy! Unlike that smart aleck and cynical brat you call a friend. This isn't fair! I was supposed to become a bracer first. I can accept that Joshua became a bracer before me, but getting passed by the likes of Estelle? What's the likes of Estelle supposed to mean? Just so you know, you can't even be a bracer until you're 16 years old, get it? Only mature people allowed. Like me. Yeah. And that means the little kids who are still going to Sunday school. I don't know how I should put this, Estelle, but Sunday school is dying to have you back. You better watch out, Estelle. I'm gonna go train at my secret base, and before you know it, I'm gonna be a bracer too. Come on, Pat, let's go. Alright, I'm coming. See you later, Estelle. Bye, Joshua. Ah, little kids. I must say, one thing I consistently do not like in role-playing games is small child characters. It's very rare that they are done well, especially if they're important recurring characters. Like if this Luke fellow ends up becoming a party member or something, that would just be awful. But yeah, anyway, so I can't think of a lot of child characters that I really liked outside of a game or show that's child focused. Like if you have something like, I guess like the Rugrats cartoon, you have babies, or as like the entire main cast is all babies, then it's okay. But when you have an age gap, it's very rare. Anyway, that's an aside. That boy Luke, he's always trying to pick a fight with me. I wonder if he just plain hates me or something. Rather, I think it's the exact opposite. What do you mean by that? Don't worry about it, it's just a boy thing. At any rate, what do you think Luke meant when he said secret base? I don't know why, but somehow it makes me a bit curious. I know exactly what you mean. A secret base sounds really intriguing. The pure heart of a young child can be so inspiring at times. That's not really what I meant by curious. Alright, now things to do. Now we need to pick up a newspaper for Dad. Is that in yet? Hey there, Estelle and Joshua. How can I help you? Did you manage to become bracers? You bet we did. Maybe I should have you start calling me Hyper Bracer Estelle from now on. By the way, Mr. Renon, did the Liberal News come in? Yeah, it came in a little afternoon. Don't brush me off like that, you two. Oh, whatever. I'll take one copy then. That'll come to 100 Mira, please. Oh, we don't even get a choice. It's not like an item that we can buy in the shop. Okay. Issue 1. I know my dad always buys a copy of this magazine, but does it really sell that well? It sure does. The Liberal News has an excellent reporter and camerawoman who have done a great job reporting the latest and most reliable news. They're even supposed to have a running story related to Queen Alicia's birthday celebration. One more thing before you go. This gift is my way of saying congratulations. It's a free sample item I received with my shipment of goods, but don't hold the free part against me. And we get... okay, here's the recipe book. That's supposed to be for. There's a ton of blank pages. It's a recipe book, isn't it? You got it. When you get hurt fighting, if you just limit yourself to healing bombs all the time, it's gonna cut pretty deep into your wallets. This is where a recipe book comes into play. If you eat food to recover your strength instead, it's basically free. Assuming you have all the ingredients, anyway. So if you eat something new, write down what's in it, and you'll have a lot of recipes in no time. How about we try this out? Go ahead and eat this cookie, Estelle. Received maple cookie. Well, I have made it a personal rule to never turn down sweets. Ate maple cookie. Learned maple cookie recipe. Basically, all you have to do is eat the food to learn the recipe. It's as simple as that. As you're traveling about, you should eat whatever food you come across that you haven't had an opportunity to try before. Well, that sounds pretty convenient. It's not that I don't like cooking and all, it's just that I never seem to get any better. I'd sure love to be able to increase my repertoire and really shock my dad's taste buds for once in my life. That's the spirit. And in passing, if you're in need of any ingredients, I'd be delighted to service your cooking needs. You really know how to solicit your customers, Mr. Renon. Thank you for the recipe book. We'll put it to good use. Eating the recommended dish at restaurants or using to-go meals adds the recipe to the recipe book. By selecting the recipe book, all learned recipes will be displayed. As long as all the necessary ingredients are available, the food can be made. There are two types of food: sit-down meals, which must be eaten on the spot, and to-go meals, which can be carried as items. Sit-down meals cannot be carried as items. Ingredients used for cooking can be bought at a store or acquired from monsters. Alright, just to continue with that previous tangent about child characters, and also to tie into the thing about girls not being able to cook that I mentioned in first part, I think it was. Nanako from Persona 4 comes to mind as an example of a female character that can cook. Well, kind of. She's like, I don't know, 12 or something. So, you can cook well for her age. And also a child character that not only wasn't annoying, but that I actually looked forward to seeing interact with the other characters. So there is actually an example of a child character that's not incredibly annoying. Anyway. By the way, Mr. Renon, how do you know that today was our last day of training? In a certain sense, both you and Joshua are like celebrities here in Roland. I tend to hear a lot from customers coming through here. I shouldn't have expected anything less from Roland. The grapevine around here is seriously something to be reckoned with. Well, and your reporter friend is full of all that gossip, I'm sure. The girl that we talked to in the first part. No kidding. The women here especially love to gossip. That too. Okay, what can we buy here? We can get ingredients. I guess that maple sugar is probably required for that cookie, if we wanted to make it. Speaking of which, was it R for recipe? Maple cookie. Okay. Milk, flour, and sugar. This is a to-go meal, so we can carry it with us. Heals 80 HP. Okay. Out of curiosity. Remember this happening the last time I started this as well. Well, I'm sure Estelle won't mind an extra helping of pasta. We're gonna go back to the tavern. Or the bar or whatever. Now that we have a recipe book. And eat the wholesome pasta again. There we go. Okay, this is totally an optimal playthrough. What do you have to sell? French fries, flowery soda, and the Carmine Eye. And these all look like to-go meals. I think that's what the little cloth with the apple and the sandwich on it, that icon means. I think that's what that's supposed to represent. You know, a little picnic lunch. So we should buy and eat all of these at some point. I don't know if I want to spend all of my money on food right off the bat. Yeah, we're at 700 Mira, so it's 200 for 2 servings of pasta, and 100 for the liberal news that we had to buy. I wonder what happens if you have no money when you do that, if you just like eat the pasta 10 times before you complete your training. But anyway, wholesome pasta. Yeah, okay, that's got the full course thing with the... What is that, a bowl of soup and a bottle of wine? So olive oil, 5 flour, and beast flesh. And, oh, I see. A heaping dish of pasta with strips of meat, a manly meal. So this is 180 health to the entire party, but it can only be eaten outside of combat. It can't be eaten during combat, basically. Whereas this is 80 health to a single character, but it can be used in combat. I'm guessing that's going to be the distinction there. Good to know. I guess we could talk to everybody again. Oh, sorry, I should have read that, shouldn't I? Hey, Estelle and Joshua, is it true that you really became bracers? You're always one of the first to hear everything, aren't you, Claire? You are the gossip, I'm sure of it. This is just what I expected. I saw the potential in both of you way back. Yep. You're gonna get out of here and earn a lot of success, right? I like Scheherazad's... I'm gonna stumble over that name for a while. I like Scheherazad's adult charm, but I'm partial to both you and Joshua. Huh? I'll take that as a compliment. Drama's finally going to begin. I'm so excited! So yeah, I guess we could probably talk to everybody again. I don't really want to. It seems like somehow I'll be able to get the lumber I wanted. Simon, our Septium purchases are going to go through fine, right? I spared no effort coming all the way into Tyrol, and failure is not an option. Let's see, I made contact with some people at the Malga mine, and we're working out a few business details at the moment. Please wait just a little longer. Oh yeah, so everybody's story has progressed in the time. So yeah, I guess we should talk to everybody. Hopefully this won't take too long. Really? You're completely finished with your training? Yay, we are finally finished, Elisa! I am officially a real bracer! Well, congratulations, Estelle. You've always wanted to be a bracer ever since you were a kid, haven't you, Estelle? But don't bracers have a lot of dangerous jobs? Yeah, something like that. Joshua, Estelle, don't overdo it and watch out for each other. Estelle has this tendency to get in over her head. That's a very good observation, Elisa. The only problem is that Estelle doesn't realize this herself. I'm standing right here, you guys. Joshua and I care about you, Estelle, that's all. Anyway, don't get too full of yourself and end up getting hurt, okay? Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll be taking damage at some point in this game, so... we almost died in the, sewers. Or I guess Joshua almost died. More eating. I better get back to the mine before the boss figures out I ditched work. It's definitely something to say out loud. Looks like that female merchant came over from Bosse. Not only does she seem smart, but she's extremely attractive as well. Then again, she'd probably never give me the time of day. Her accent is a little different, though. Okay. My son-in-law is still half a man when it comes to this business. This isn't an easy job, and it takes a good 2 to 3 years to become a real woodsman. Okay. In my opinion, there are 2 kinds of enjoyment that come from food. Put bluntly, they are eating and cooking. I think my passion for cooking outweighs the other. Yeah, you're rather skinny for a cook. The stereotype in these kinds of things is that you should never trust a skinny cook. If they don't like their own eating, then... I don't know. Of course, I enjoy eating delicious food as well. Well, now that I have a run command, this should be a lot faster. Well, Estelle, I haven't seen you around here for a while. There's been some time since you graduated from Sunday school, right? Did you say hi to Alyssa? We sure did. She started helping around here not too long ago. Please visit her if you have some time. She's been wanting to see you. Alright. My son Pat has been gone since this morning. I hope he's not getting in any trouble with Luke. I'm worried about what he's up to. Secret hideout, nothing to worry about. Thanks to the airliners in recent days, even Roland has been able to get a good selection of books. And thanks to that, I find myself compelled to buy a new one each time I head to the store. But I get yelled at by my wife for getting so many, so maybe I should cut back a little bit. I've only got the first chapter of this novel, so if you want, I'll give it to you. I just can't find the book I'm looking for. Yes, I Okay, really, we have to talk to everybody at every moment. Okay. Just when I thought Luke had come home, he took off out the door again. I told the boy that dinner was almost ready, too. That boy is always running around like his pants are on fire. He just can't sit still for 2 minutes. Okay, well, we're done with the book. Alright, we found... Alright, we've got nothing else to do here. Ah, I see. We have 2 different kinds of both enemies with different drops, possibly, and slightly different stats, probably. That's the map. What am I trying to do? Oh, I'm trying to get the menu so that I can... I can read these. Imperial Chronicle, part 1 of a fictional novel published in Liberal. 10 pages, oh boy. Buckle in, kids, we're going for a ride. The Imperial Chronicle. I stood there, upright, in front of the revolving door, scuffing the heels of my boots against the ground. Pulling slightly on the collar of my trench coat, I dropped my chin and gazed at my partial reflection in the curved glass. Aside from my short-cropped hair, I wore a modest-looking double-breasted leather raincoat and a pair of special-order steel-reinforced boots, both of which, at first glance, appeared to be the most common of common apparel. Okay. Just figuring out which controls do what. Okay, it looks like we can only go forward. Yet, they were in fact much more than the naked eye could detect. My ordinary, average appearance, it was of just as much importance today as it had been on any other day in times past. Not far off, the sound of footfalls echoed rhythmically like the steady beat of a pendulum swinging back and forth, as the throngs of those coming and going moved quickly along the cobblestone avenue, enveloped and tinged silver by the morning mist. At times, the calling voice of a street peddler disrupted the steady flow, but as soon as the hawking cry faded away, it would resume its course. Each morning that I found myself setting foot in the Imperial City, I also found my surroundings to be unchanged and stained by the same somber tone of grey. Snatching up a magazine from the underarm of a street vendor, I tossed a few mira into the left hand, poised expectantly behind his back. The Imperial Chronicle, the magazine I read so often that even the ink bleeds were familiar. Roughly flipping over its cover, I scanned the headlines along the top of its monochrome pages. Then suddenly, my breath caught in my throat. At the very bottom of the local news page, I found those letters, that sequence of characters which I had not heard nor seen since the time of that life-changing incident. My eyes instantly gravitated to the spot and for a time remained fixated. Ein Selnate. The very meaning of those letters became lost to my senses as I stood motionless, my gaze fixed on the same line of text, until it all seemed to coalesce into a single blotch of ink. After a few seconds of blank comprehension, my vision settled and I wrenched my eyes to the beginning of the article. As I began to read, my memories verged on a single point in my past, and then slowly started to run in reverse, heading for that fateful event 3 years prior when this name was first introduced to me. It was on an afternoon all those years ago, on a day not unlike this one, where the capital was overshadowed by its typical gloomy aura. I was a little younger than now, a 22-year-old boy who stood silently in front of the boutique store as usual, double-checking his appearance before lightly treading over to Mixed Imperial Factory. It was on this day that it had been arranged for me to receive a new job from Mixed, the shop owner himself. Although he was a drab, middle-aged man, I, being the ornament enthusiast I was, had found myself as one of his few regular customers. I headed down a dark alleyway, and after passing through a partially rotted wooden gate, I could see the soft glow of the flickering orbital light just outside the entrance of the factory, whose structure was halfway below street level. I first began receiving jobs from Mitch around the time when dissension began to occur in society over the 100 Days' War. It was during this period that relations between the Liberal Kingdom and the Empire were at their worst, and the importation of ordnance had become almost non-existent. Conspiring with underground elements and planning a smuggling operation, Mitch made me out to be his accomplice in crime, for the job which I received by his hand was none other than that of the courier. Being nothing more than a commoner in my teens at the time I met him, and a juvie devoid of any connections in life besides, I naturally jumped at the opportunity without a moment's hesitation. But even after relations with Liberal had returned to some degree of normalcy, I realized I was in no mood to give up my specialty, which focused mainly on the delivery of stolen goods. The reason being, there was no job out there which could bring in the kind of mirror this one did. With an unrefined and inconspicuous appearance I had countless times before, hidden items of various sorts in my hat and trousers, and made my way hither and thither between the borders of these neighboring nations. And though to my delight my wallet had become increasingly laden with the bounty of monetary rewards, I had routinely changed my alias as a precautionary measure, so much in fact that these false names had built up into quite a list over the last few years. I had been known as Phil, the Frivolous, Bruni, the Trickster, and even Chris, the Coward. However, Niched had always called me by one name, Toby. This was the identity I had used for my initial job, and the one I liked above all the others. Okay, I imagine we'll be continuing with that story in the future. In the meantime, let's read this before we drop it off with our father. The Queen's 60th is nigh. Also, the writing in this, there's an awful lot of language. We'll just leave it at that. There's an awful lot of language that they're using. It's interesting. The milestone anniversary. A half-year countdown to Her Majesty Queen Alicia's 60th birthday celebration has begun. This has been a banner year for Her Royal Highness, sparking more anticipation than this event has ever seen before. But we must not forget, too, that this year is the 10th since the 100 Days' War, a period of intense turmoil for all of Liberal. As we celebrate, let us also reflect on the tragedies of the past, so that we may refrain from ever reliving them in the future. We have been afforded this luxury of hindsight, and we must use it to its fullest. Preparations underway in the Royal City. Main Street is filled with the bustle of men and women furiously preparing decor and merchandise for the upcoming festivities, and developing new products specifically for sale during the celebration. The competition is truly cutthroat. I yearn for my customers' taste buds to sing with delight, says Mr. Sorbet? A local ice cream purveyor who deals her wares for Mrs. Wow. Try that one again. I yearn for my customers' taste buds to sing with delight, says Mrs. Sorbet. Local ice cream purveyor who deals her wares in the city's East Block. Sadly, her new menu will remain a mystery to us until the day of the festival. As the population grows, more and more businesses pop up all around me. But all that means is more customers, especially at festival time, so I'm certainly not complaining, she exclaims with a sly smile. Mrs. Sorbet seems to have a few tricks up her sleeve, so to all her competitors, we say, watch out. Who shall stand and who shall fall? Prior to the festival, Her Majesty will be hosting our annual martial arts competition in the Royal Arena. This fiercely competitive tournament is always a big hit, with some avid spectators even regarding it as the day's main event. Which team will come out on top? Society. Burglaries across the Bosse region. According to our sources, the Bosse region has seen a string of burglaries over the last several days, and the people have had enough. The Royal Army Border Patrol stationed at the Hacken Gate has been stepping up efforts to apprehend the group of criminals responsible for these acts, and anyone with information on their identities is urged to contact the Border Patrol immediately. And travel. Finding the perfect getaway. Kingfisher Inn along the beautiful Valeria Lakeshore, more popular than ever following a visit from the women of the Royal City. Won't you come and fish with us too? Oh boy. Okay. Like I said, I am actually playing this game for the lore. Still, let's head home. We should let Dad know that we qualified as junior bracers. Yeah, I forgot about that. So, yeah, we will be focusing on reading everything, but I also need to focus on talking to everybody. Luscious chocolate skin, captivating ruby eyes. Scheherazad's quite the exotic beauty, wouldn't you say? She's got that fascinating charm that people in Liberal don't have. Alan's off in his little world again. I've actually gone drinking with Scheherazade before. Scheherazade, the strange thing is, I have absolutely no memory of that time. Maybe I should try and ask her out again? There were no cute girls on the flight this morning. I guess all I can do now is look forward to the flight this afternoon. Okay, that's all we got. Alright. I am proud of the work I do here. That's because I've always wanted to work on orbital engines ever since I can remember. Right now I work in maintenance, but in the future my dream is to be involved in airship design. Alright. Anybody under here? Doesn't look like it. Alright, up we go. See the one guy. Looks like the last person here. There are two airliners which travel to the 5 major cities, an eastward circling one and a westward circling one. The westward circling airliner travels from Grancel to Roland, Bosse, Ron, and Zeiss, in that order. The eastward circling airliner travels in the opposite direction, Grancel to Zeiss, Ron, Bosse, and Roland, in that order. But just to let you know, there are no routes connecting regions which are not next to one another. Any aircraft deviating from these set routes either belongs to the Royal Army, the Royal Family, or is flying in Liberals' airspace illegally. Okay, good to know. I wish that hitting the button would let you skip the text the second time, but yeah, that's some good information to have. All right. I guess we can go into the clock tower. Talk to you again. Beautiful sound as always. I love the toll of this tower bell. This bell does more than tell the time. It's also marking Roland's history. I wonder, does anything happen if we go up here? No. We got an event the first time. Okay, hello sir, do you have anything to say? We've got an unusual guest staying here at the moment. She appears to be a student from the Genus Royal Academy. I've heard she's come here to study about Roland. Okay. Alright, again, not doing the laundry. Alright, let's see if we can find the guest. I finally arrived here in Roland. I think the first thing I'm going to do is have a look around. I guess that was her. Anybody else around? First floor. Okay. Well, I did kind of want to do some gameplay, but there's going to be an awful lot of this in this playthrough, isn't there? Okay, I don't think there's actually anybody around outside, but we'll just go in. And Mrs. sometimes helps me with my jobs around the house. On top of that, she treats me like I'm part of the family. She even took me out to eat the other day. I couldn't be happier. Alright, so we got the kind and generous ruling family here, I guess. Compared to other cities, Roland is certainly rural with no distinct features. However, I love the city. There's just something warm and inviting about Roland. I want to build a city that gives importance to that atmosphere. Yep. Oops, save. Yeah, I think we're done with the Mayor's Manor. I'm sure this place will be important later, otherwise they wouldn't let us in here. Okay, on to the church. Still, you seem to be rather cheerful today. Did something wonderful happen in your life? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Joyous occasions are indeed a wonderful thing, but it is at times when things go well that we should gird up our loins for the trials that lie ahead. O goddess Aidios of the firmament, please guide these unseasoned youths. It is a yeah, same thing, okay. Wait. Is there no other option? I'm a newly assigned sister to this chapel. I was recently transferred from the royal city to Roland. I'm sorry for your loss. This place is surrounded by greenery, and everyone in town is so kind. I think I'm going to enjoy it here. Father Divine is a bit strict, but he is someone I can respect a lot. Keeping a positive attitude is definitely going to help you getting used to your new countryside life here. Alright, I feel like there's a few characters that we didn't see, but... Oh. We could enter the sewers. I don't really see a reason to do that just yet. Right, money. Let's shop. Well, we don't have a lot of money. We want +4 attack on Estelle? I'm sure it doesn't seem like it's that meaningful. Item upgrades, man, item upgrades are a thing in games where just like, good afternoon, hey there Estelle and Joshua, how'd your training go? That emblem on your chest means I shouldn't have expected anything less from Cassius's kids, but we're still bracers in training. I see, but well, I knew you were gonna have to give up your part-time job here sooner or later. Yes, I'm really sorry about that. Don't sweat it, I knew it would happen eventually when I hired you on. A shame, though. There's hardly anyone out there with as good an eye for weapons as you. But that's the path you've chosen. So get out there and show us what you're made of. Okay. Alright, so yeah, a problem with a lot of these games, I think I probably mentioned this in Cthulhu Saves the World as well, is that there's not really much point in buying gear upgrades a lot of the time because they just get obsolete so fast and the upgrades are so minimal compared to what you'd get. Anyway, hello there, Joshua and Estelle. Stella, listen to this! I finally became a bracer! My goodness, is that true? And Joshua too? Yes ma'am, that's right. Congratulations to the both of you, you did wonderfully. Hee. But one thing, Estelle. You shouldn't be proud just because you became a bracer. This is just the starting point. I understand that. The two of you will experience a lot of new things as bracers, and I hope that I can be proud of the fact that this is the path you chose in the coming years. But enough about my feelings, please work hard and good luck. Okay. I'm going to try to keep my little tangents to a minimum if I'm going to be, especially in segments like this where I'm running around talking to everybody. I think tangents are okay when I'm running around in the field, but I'm mostly saying this just to solidify it in my own mind for future reference. Don't spend a whole lot of time talking about other stuff while you're also going around talking to everybody in town, because it takes forever to get things done. I think this is the last person. No, it's not. I just thought of another building. Okay. Congratulations on passing the bracer exam. And in following with this joyous occasion, how about you buy something, too? I'll even give you a discount. Really? Oh right, we have been here. I'm so glad that Renon's store has finally got on track. It seems as though it has become much easier to get products since he started having them brought in by airliner. Ever since the first orbments were invented, this world has become a much easier place to live in. Alright, that's that. Oh hey! Did he work up the courage to talk to the person? Wrong way, okay. I'm so distressed. He's my type, and I'd like to accept his proposal, but this place is not my ideal situation. Is the place or whatever really that important? Of course it is. This could be a memory of a lifetime. Maybe the place that comes to my mind when I'm an old grandma and lying in my deathbed. I just can't accept an alleyway like this as being that place. I guess this type of thing can only be understood by those involved. I've confessed to her several times since this morning, but I can't get her to accept my love. It doesn't seem like she hates me or anything. What am I doing wrong? Okay, I shouldn't. He's passionately confessed his love to me several times, but the situation isn't right. It would be great if he'd just say it to me in a bit more romantic place. Oh boy. Melders, okay, we haven't talked to these people yet. The orbments we see today are built using the structure of a clock. Therefore, even old technicians such as myself can tinker with some of their parts. When it comes to these quartz circuits, however, I'm a bit out of my league. I don't know who invented these things, but they're extremely complicated little machines. Right, you are not the shopkeeper, actually. Hey, you're doing good work so far. Ah, what's that emblem on your chests? Congratulations, you two. So you finally become bracers, huh? Uh-huh, thanks. Estelle, you are way too proud of yourself. Why do you always have to ruin the moment, Joshua? I should be this happy. Because I earned it. You should at least let me bask in the glory for a minute. Sometimes you can just be so... But Estelle, now that you become a bracer, you're gonna have to get over your little, problem with orbital arts. Man, you too? Why do you have to go and spoil my day by saying things like that? If you have any other business needs, don't forget to stop by. Yeah, we do not have enough Sepith to do anything here. Alright. Yes, the other place was this building, I believe. Uni should be back any time now, but thought of her to not be home by now. Still, Joshua, if you see my Uni, could you tell her to come home? She's never broken curfew before, but I'm worried because she's still just a little girl. That reminds me, it seems like she's always hanging out with Pat and Luke, but really doesn't have to play around with those boys all the time. Huh? Oh, it's nothing. I was just thinking out loud. Okay, so maybe this is a quest? Oh, it's not something that we recorded, so... I love my daddy so much. He's so strong and he's always nice to me. I've already started dinner for the night. I'm making plenty, so hopefully my husband will be coming home today. Staying overnight at the mine and working through the night is pretty common for him. I wonder if my husband will be coming home. Yeah, okay. We're gonna take a little while. That was not Uni, or whatever her name was. Junie? So do we wander around town looking for a little girl? It's almost time for my husband to come home from work. I'd better go get to work on preparing dinner. Alright, if I was... Well, I guess I'd have to find those boys. I need to find the secret base. I think I already talked to this guy. I must work hard to get my father-in-law to acknowledge me for my wife's sake. Right. Well, I guess we'll deal with... Alright, it's always reversed from the way I think it is. I guess we'll deal with the kid the next time we're in town, yeah. Alright, I don't think that we can do anything with that just yet. Sure, we'll cut through this way. Still, Joshua, am I glad I found you two? Oh, hi, Aina. Something wrong? You seem to be in quite a hurry. Got a bit of a problem. Is your father at home today? Yes, he is. He said something about having to sort out a bunch of documents, but what's going on? You know Luke and Pat, right? Sure we do. In fact, we saw them not that long ago. What's wrong? Are they in some sort of trouble? I don't know how to say this, but I just heard from Uni, okay, so I guess Uni's not the one who's in trouble, that Luke and Pat ran off to the tower that lies on the northern outskirts of Roland. You mean the Tower of Esmelas? Isn't that place supposed to be a breeding ground for monsters? That's what they say. Unfortunately, at the moment, Scherzard is out on other bracer business, so I want to ask your father to bring the boys home safely. What are you talking about? There's no time for that. Joshua and I will go after them and bring them back. I don't know if that's such a good idea. The two of you only just qualified to be junior bracers today. With all due respect, I believe that Estelle's judgment is correct in this situation. If the two of us hurry, we may even be able to catch up with the boys before they reach the tower. I understand. I will take responsibility for what happens. As an emergency request from the Bracer Guild, I ask that you lose no time in bringing about the safe return of these children. Roger that. Understood. The Esmelas Tower can be reached by taking the western path at the junction along the Malga Trail. You can get into the Malga Trail through Roland's northwest gate. I'll be on standby at the guild, so if you're in any trouble, you know where to find me. This is our first real job. Come on, Joshua. We don't have any time to lose. I'm right behind you. Malga Trail is through the northwest gate. That's the smaller exit next to the landing port. I know already. I guess we can't go out. Oh boy. I'm almost afraid to check. New dialogue? No, no new dialogue. I'll check a few more characters. Scare the birds. The only other character actually I'm going to check before I just go and do this quest is... You were worried about your daughter. You're saying the same thing? Okay. Was Uni? Alright, let's go into the guild. Oh, this is supposed to be the daughter. I wonder if Luke and Pat are alright. I tried my best to stop them. Estelle, Joshua, please bring them back home safely. I'm counting on you two to bring back those boys safely. The Esmalus Tower is at the west end of the Malga Trail. The Malga Trail is through the gate in town. Yeah, nothing to report. Alright, and if we check the Bracer notebook... Child rescue. Alright. We don't know what we're being paid for this, but anyway, we have a quest to complete. Was it... Ah, stupid place for a chair. Was it this way? Yes, okay. Man, it's been 40 minutes. It's like a good stopping point, but I really feel like I didn't actually do anything in this part. So let's do some fights. Flying feline. Gotta get that alliteration. Okay. Okay, these are a little bit tougher. Oh no. Depth up. Strength up. That makes a significant difference.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Well, we'll be leveling up pretty soon, I think. Got a beast flesh. Right, so monsters don't appear until we're close to them. Also, because there's camera spinning, we'll go at it from behind. Yes, preemptive attack. Okay, what is this thing? A lily mover. I guess we'll just charge it. Preemptive, we get to go before it does, okay. We get to go quite a bit before it does.
Piece of cake.
Okay, and that one had water. Okay, so we have access to fire and water here, it looks like, if we wanted to grind. Because we need air, earth, fire, and water to unlock the new orbments. Oh, 3, okay. Craft. Oh, didn't finish it off. That's disappointing. Damage does carry between battles. I was just playing a bunch of Cthulhu before this, so I have to get used to the new rules. I don't have auto heal between battles anymore. Okay. Yeah, we seem to do it in 2 hits for the most part. Alright, and she's got CP maxed out.
We're good to go!
Alright, nice fight there. More beast flesh. We can make pasta out of that. I know I could be running, but... Which way are you facing? Because you don't move. Okay, that got us a preemptive. Oh, that's not good. Well, we get an extra action before they do, so hopefully we can finish it off. So what do these do? Ow. Alright, well, we should be able to finish it off.
That's that then. Let's move out.
Fresh herb, okay. Orpiment. Can I use this out of combat? Looks like I can. Okay. Reviving bomb. Not a thing remains in this chest, except a lonely dead spider. Alright, we got the... Ooh, well this is probably going to be a level up. And we got the preemptive. So we should get multiple actions here before they do. Okay, we can reach that. Oh boy, attack up. Oh, miss. Okay, good. Focusing his power. Sepith up. Okay. So if I recall, we want to hit the enemy as much as possible while we have Sepith up. Basically means this thing's powering itself up, let's just nuke it. Come on.
Here I come!
Look at all that Sepith. That's the way to do it. Bonus is crit. Let's see if it'll be enough. No. Okay, that's fine.
All right, we're good to go.
And our prize is a level up. Hopefully that restores our mana as well. Stell learned Taunt. That's very appropriate for her. Yeah, and look at all that Sepith. Beautiful. And some beast flesh. Okay, so I think we're just going to get to the end of this section of trail. Okay, yeah, well, I guess that's where we are. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, so we found the Flying Feline and the Lily Mover, two more enemy types. And we can see, yeah, here it tells us what we get when we grind, so good to know. Oh, Lily Mover weak to fire. Flying Feline weak to everything, but not that weak to everything. Okay. A winged cat-like monster. Beware of its attack after it stores up energy. A flowering plant monster. It can't move, but it shoots seeds to kill its prey. Also, it can be moved, so that's a little bit weird, but anyway. Anyway, that's going to be it for this part. Next time, hopefully for real, we will actually do a quest, and then probably have to talk to everybody again once we've rescued the children. But anyway, that'll be for the next part. I will see you then.